see how everybody's doing. Happy 2020. And with the new year, there's a new beginning. Now, today I want to talk about new beginnings. Because with new beginnings, there's new struggles, new challenges, and whatnot throughout the year. Now, last time I talked to you in my last video, I talked about being stuck in our past. Having that one moment where we just can't seem to get away from. It keeps holding us back and chaining us and handcuffing us. And we just can't figure out a way to get through it or past it. And a lot of our choices that we make are all based from that one moment in our life. What we really have to do is take a look at how we really want to proceed in our life. Are we content in being handcuffed to this one moment, or a series of moments, or do we want something new in our life? Do we want to start some new beginning? I shared a piece of my life with you in a couple of videos ago about being in a basement, being abused by two men and raped. And I shared that with you to tell you where I came from and what my moment was and where I was trapped at, because it reshaped the way I looked at the world. And I only gave you a piece of what happened. It was 2 days of torture in that basement. And I can relive every moment of that time. And it's hard. We can't change the past. That's one thing we can never do. But we can prepare for the future and become something new and different. Start over and begin anew. But we have to ask ourselves, do we really want to move on from that moment? Now, the first step in this whole process is we have to look deep within ourselves. So what I want you to do is go to a mirror and take a good look within your own self and ask yourself, do you really want something different in your life? Do you really want something new? Or are you content with where you're at? Let that answer echo within the corners of your soul. Just keep bouncing around. Because I promise you, you want something different and new. There's nothing more torturous than being handcuffed to the past and reliving it over and over again. I've done it for umpteen years. I can't tell you how many times I've had nightmares and replayed that vision of that basement scene over and over in my mind. And it has held me back from feeling love, feeling joy, and a whole bunch of other things that I've missed out on life because of that one moment. I want to help you move beyond your moment, whatever it may be. I can't give you a direct line, but I know what helped me, and I know what helped change me. And that's me looking deep within myself and saying, hey, I've had enough. I want to get away from where I'm at. I remember I told you I was in that basement looking up these flight of stairs, and I was trying to figure out how to get up them. And I kept getting up them, and I keep coming back. But it was the first step that got me moving. And that first step is finding a way to love myself, to forgive myself. Because I blamed everything that happened on me. Every moment. That 2 days in that basement, I blamed it was my fault. And I truly believe that through my whole life. I did something to entice these two men. I said something to make these two men act. It was me. It was all my fault. And that's the way I saw it. Now, being the adult I am today and being through the transformation I went through, I know that's not true. I know that I was just surrounded by two sick individuals that decided to act on their perverted nature. But it still didn't stop me from blaming myself. And I hated myself for it. I couldn't find love within me. All I felt was hate and rage. So I had to find a way to forgive me and love me. Now, forgiving is easier said than done. We can forgive someone else faster than we can forgive ourselves. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? Why do I truly forgive some stranger that wronged me, but I can't forgive me? The most important person, the one standing here going through all this. one thing I've had to do, and I can tell you I'm not an extremely religious person, but I had to hit my knees, and I had to have an honest conversation with God and say, God, help me through this. Show me and help me to forgive me. Now, all of us have different ways of forgiving ourselves. I'm not telling you to forgive the individual that wronged you or forgive something that you just hold that you feel that you can't forgive. But I'm saying there's a process in doing it. One way of doing it is asking for help, which I've talked about in other videos. That hand that reaches in the dark and pulls you up. There's always that one individual around you that wants to help you, that wants to help guide you out of some things, that wants to listen, that wants to do everything for you, but you keep shunning away and shunning away and shunning away because you had trust issues. You done built this wall up around yourself that you've seen you can't break down. But that's where we take one brick out. That's the first step. Taking one brick down of the wall that we done built around ourselves within that, whatever moment in the past that you have caught yourself in. Once we take that one brick down, it's one less brick that we have to tear down. It's one less step that we have to climb up. So forgiveness and love are connected. Once you forgive, you learn how to love. So find a way to forgive yourself for whatever has got you caught in the past. Now, I know all this sounds easy. I know all this sounds great in words and easy to do, but it's a lot of work. And I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to go through a whole lot of heartache and pain to get better, because that's what we have to go through. It's trials and tribulations. We have to find a way on the other side of the pain that we find ourselves in or connected to. Now, you might not be connected to a past moment. You just might be making a series of choices that just keep reoccurring. And you have to stop. New beginnings. This is where we start over. This is where we make new choices. 2020. A friend told me that 2020 is like our vision. We have clear vision right now. 2020 is a path to new vision. New beginnings, new struggles, new beginnings, new paths. So one thing I want to leave you with is this. It's time to move on. It's time to stand up. It's time to take that first step. And I will take it with you gladly. You are not alone. I thought I was alone after all these years, and I wasn't. But I want you to know you're not. There's someone there that will step with you, and I will be the one to help you step up those steps. But one thing I want you to ask yourself before we take this real journey, and this is a journey. This ain't a little short trip down the road. This is going to be a long journey. I want you to ask yourself, who are you? Let that resonate a little bit. Who am I and where do I want to go? And when we take that first step of forgiveness and love that I keep talking about, I promise you, you'll start seeing a path out of the way of the pain and the misery that you find yourself in, or the clutches of addiction, or the hate, or the rage. And when we get to a place where we can plateau just a little bit, you'll be able to take a deep breath and be able to look back down those stairs that you done stepped up a little bit and be able to smile for the first time in your life, because that's what I did. I was able to put on just a smile and find just a little bit of happiness. And with that, I wish you the best 2020, and I look forward to the journey that we are about to embark on. Because when I tell you that when I say we, I'm here for you. So with that, I wish you good night. God bless.